Hello guys, this is Brian Tubbs coming at you with another video. Today I'm making a cow. I'm just helping my son make this cow. Just, garden art. And this is basically the body of the cow, this thing here. And this 1/4-inch plate, we didn't have enough plate to just make it what we wanted it. This is like 20, I think it's like 26 inches, I think it is. Yeah, this is 26 inches. We were gonna do it 2 feet, but I went to the metal store and they wanted like $35 for 2 feet. And I think the height of this is like 12 inches, so a foot. So I said I'll dig through my my scrap bin and see what I can come up with. So we had this piece of metal. It was cut on an angle here because I used this piece for a base for a big piece. The same with this one. This was scrap left over, and this front piece was scrap left over. And I put them all together, and this just happened to line up perfectly with this piece. So this is kind of what we came up with for the body. And this thing sitting here, oh, this is heavy. This is going to be the cow's head. This is the top of the head, the nose. They wanted a ring in the nose, like for a bull, when they pull a bull, they wanted that. And the heads are going to sit on kind of like this. And then this is going to be one of the ears. And then I took some train spikes and put my oxyacetylene torch to them and bent them, so they'll sit on the top of the head. So what it is let me bring this over here. Just so you can see a little bit better. So this is what it looks like. There'll be an ear somewhere right in there. And this is a train, I guess it's a tie down from a train track. I'm not sure exactly what it is. My wife and son went in and found a bunch of old stuff laying around. And then this of course is a train spike that was once fairly straight. And I took, like I said, took my oxyacetylene torch and heated it up and bent it up pretty good. So that'll kind of sit right on top in this area. And then they wanted, like I said, the nose ring. So this will be a nose ring. People can even take a flower planter and hang from this nose ring. And what I'm doing is, or what we're doing is we're doing both sides identical. So this side I have a nose ring, the ear will come off, the horns, and on this other side it'll be the same. So whatever this side they set in the middle of the yard, when they come in from that direction or that direction, it'll look the same. This will be a front on position, so you have the ears, the horn coming off of that. And the reason I made it kind of tapered out is so when you're looking at it from the side, when you're looking at it, I guess from the side of the body, and here it'll look like the cow or bull or whatever is looking up at you. So it'll be more glancing up like this, as opposed to just this being flat and just looking straight out into the yard or whatever. So that's why I put this tape around here. I think it's about 1 inch at the top and 2 3/4 or something like that on the bottom. And this is, I use 3/16 thick steel here, and on the sides I'm using like 11 gauge to fill that in, because it'll bend a little bit easier than this 3/16. Like I said, the body is 1/4 inch. We're gonna put legs on it. I'm not sure how they want to do that yet, but that's kind of what we're doing. We're gonna put eyes here. It has the nose, So it's just like I said, just kind of yard art. So I just want to kind of just show you guys what I'm thinking as far as the head goes and that kind of thing. See, this is the thing with these projects. When it's not mine, I'm helping my son and my wife with this one. When it's my project, I'll just start making. But when it's theirs, we're going back and forth, collaborating and all this kind of stuff. So my thought was I would have this, just a small little neck extending from here, going out and catching this and holding this out here. But they didn't quite want it like that. They wanted the head sitting back closer to the body, which it looks fine. So it'll sit closer to the body. So it's like the head is turning and you see the body, from here as opposed to having the neck out here, which is fine, like I said. But in order to do this, like this side is welded all the way down. It's flat, just have the ear here, and this will just be solid, metal. But on this side, in order for me to set the head kind of on the body, I came up with this. And so, like I said, this side is just solid. This side, I took this piece of metal here and I cut a 1/4 inch slot in here. And since the body is 1/4 inch, when I weld this side to the head here, this will just slide down onto the body, and then we'll just weld the back side of this bracket to the body, and it'll look like it's just a part of the body then. So it'll look more like, hopefully you guys can see that, it'll look more like that as opposed to being solid like this. And then of course on the bottom, I just have a plate that'll go on the bottom to close that off, and of course it has a hole in it, for water drainage. Now, what I was going to do was I wasn't going to have the rings on here. That was just my thought. I was just going to either get some screen mesh to go behind these holes, or get a plate painted yellow, the plate yellow or something like that, and have it on the back side of here. So when you look through, you would either see a screen in there, or yellow or whatever color they wanted. Because my thought is, if you have openings like this, you'll get insects, bees, and whatever else wants to go in there and build a nest. But again, this is not my project; it's theirs. So I'm just kind of helping them just do what they want to do. I'm just kind of coming up with ideas, and they're coming up with ideas, and we're just kind of throwing this thing together. So what I'm gonna do now is just take this, put it on, just kind of tack it on. Then I'll take the bottom plate, tack it on, and then I'll just start welding everything up. Then I'll come back later on, put the ears on, the horns on, that kind of thing. But I really just wanted to let you guys see what I was doing. We used this cardboard template to come up with the metal here. I didn't just come out and just start cutting. Of course, I made a template like I always do. Make a template, lay it on the metal, trace it with my sandstone. Take the plasma cutter and cut it, grind it down, smooth it out. So it goes from this, to this. And so what I'll do is I'll move you guys in a little bit closer just so you can just see kind of what I'm doing here. I'm gonna just start tacking some stuff up. Just to let you guys see what I'm doing. Okay guys, I hope you can see this. Like I always say, you can't see me, but you can see the most important part, which is this. So what I'm gonna do, first get my gloves on. I'm gonna take this piece, just lay it on here, and just kind of get everything lined up pretty good. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to tack it down here first to get that held in place pretty good, and then I got to get a clamp and start clamping this tight to the face part, and then just start kind of tacking that in. So let me go and put a couple of tacks on here, and I'm holding it here, then I'm holding it down here because I don't want this to twist or be hanging off one side and not touching the wall on this side. So I'm going to take my fingers and kind of hold that in place here, kind of run it up, just make sure I'm in pretty good shape, and then I'll go ahead and put a tack on here. Alright, so that's one. So what I'll do now, I got my good tack on, so what I'll do now, just kind of stand it up. And I'll get my, well actually what I'm going to do first, I'm going to take this off. I didn't have to do that, but I'm going to take it off because I'm going to show you guys what I'm going to do first. And I'm glad I thought of it. So in here, I have these rings. What I'm going to do is I'm going to squeeze these rings together with my clamp. Then I'm going to tack that, put a few tacks on that, so this won't come apart ever. I mean, someone's pulling on it or whatever, it won't come apart. So before I put this wall up, I'm going to tack both sides of these rings together. And like I said, I was not going to put the rings on because they're, you get people come to shows and whatnot saying that that's cruelty to animals and all that kind of stuff. So I was just trying to keep my son out of trouble. But I told him about it. He and my wife knows about it, but they say go ahead and do it anyway. They don't care. They'll do it anyway. So I'll just follow what they're saying. Let me see if I can prop this up a little bit. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just squeezing it together from the outside. And once I get this kind of in here lined up, I'll show you how I'm doing it. And if you can see, I just put a weld right on the two tips. I squeeze them together out here till they touch, and then I just tack welded it in. And that way I don't have to worry about it ever falling out of there, or twisting and rolling, falling out of there. So I'll do this on this side. And I'll do the same thing. All right. So I did it to both rings, both sides. So these rings will never fall out. whomever buys it can put as much stress on these rings as they want. They're not going anywhere. All right, so now I'll go back and put the wall, this wall on. I'm gonna grind this tack down. All right, and I'm glad I remembered to tack those rings on before I put this wall up, because I had to tack the whole thing up. I would have had to go back and cut all the tacks out. So I'm just going to redo what I just did. Just lay it on here, make sure it's lined up pretty good, and just go ahead and tack it on. All right, that's one. So what I'll do now is stand it up like I did before. I'm gonna get my clamp and clamp it down low and tack it and just keep moving up until I get this, pretty tight against this the face portion. I'm using my 600-pound Jurgensen clamps. I got these from Lowe's. Paid somewhere around $50 for them, something like that. And I bought these when I was making the sculpture. Gosh, what was it? It was the big blocks, not Child's Play, but the other blocks we were making. I'll put a thumbnail up of it just so you can see what I'm talking about. I like these clamps. They're strong, very durable. And I just like working with them. The other clamps I have, like from like the DeWalt clamps, the ones I get from like Harbor Freight, don't compare. It's totally different clamp as far as strength and whatnot. All right, so what I'll do now is just move my clamp up a little bit higher to kind of tighten this up in here, and then I'll weld that up and it'll be good to go. Looking good so far. Just gonna make sure this doesn't, I don't want to put too much pressure on the center because it'll cause it to roll in that way. So I think I'm gonna take most of the pressure and put it on the outer edge so I can keep this center pretty much flat. And the more I think about it, I'll probably just go ahead and TIG weld this. I won't put you guys through the boredom of that, but just kind of letting you know what I think I might do. I'm gonna keep this on the outer edge here, that's all. Because when I put pressure on the inside, it's collapsing in a little bit. So grab it up here. And I'm just kind of going right along. Looking good so far. One more tack right here. That'll be good enough. So what we gotta do now is these edges here are sticking up higher than the bottom of this piece here. So what I gotta do now is just take my cutoff wheel, make my marks, make a line, and just cut that off even. And then I can put that plate on, you know, to get everything lined up. So let me grab my cutoff wheel, and as opposed to using my my sandstone, I'll be using a marker, just a permanent marker, Sharpie. So I'm gonna find the edge. I'm gonna find the edge. I'm gonna find that edge right there. I'm gonna mark it onto this metal here, out here. Then I'm gonna go on the other side and find that line and mark it, because you can see that there's much more material here coming from that line than it is here. So now I just gotta take a straight edge and just go right across from that mark to that mark, and that'll be my line, my cut line. So I'll just use this guy. Just go right across. And even if it's not exact, it's okay, because I can always go back and grind something down or whatever I need to do. And I do have my face shield on. So I would use, I really don't necessarily need to use a straight edge for this, because it's really not that long of a distance. So I'll go ahead and cut it down. All right, got that. So now I'll just take my my flat disc, grinding disc, and just kind of smooth it down a little bit. And as you might see, I'm not, so now it's all fairly smooth and level, but you can see I'm not spending as much time with this as I would like one of the larger sculptures, because again, this is a, you know, pretty much garden art for the most part. I do still enjoy doing it, I just don't have much time to do it. I'll let you see what this looks like. So that's what it looks like at this point. again, you have the solid side and then this side. And this side is going to set right down. It's going to slide right down, hopefully onto the body. And then I'll run the ears and all that stuff off of it. So let me go ahead and put the bottom plate on. And with this being on here, I might have to cut a slot into this bottom plate if I need to in order for it to fit on the body properly. But what I'm thinking is this little area in here might be hanging free, so I might have to fill some of that area back in with some weld or something. Just not sure yet. Just one wall here is just slightly a little bit further in than this one. And I like this side better than this side, so I might just bang it out just a little bit. And it's really not a big deal. It's just me and the way I do things. So now, I'm just thinking everything through, making sure I'm not missing anything. I'll lay this on here. I think I'll line it up pretty good. And I think I really don't want to get my clamp on here. How do I want to do this? Get my wrench here. Actually, grab my adjustable wrench. This has a flatter surface. It won't be digging into the metal. That's probably a little bit better. One of the tacks broke, but that's okay. It'll be all right. Yeah, it looks better. So I'll go and lay this on here. Yep, much better. I want to cover these rings so I won't get spatter on them, but I think it'll be okay. So I'll just put a couple of tacks on here. My first thought with these rings were to put them in and then weld them from the inside solid. But then I thought about it would be more difficult to weld and grind here if that ring is solid. So now I can just take the ring and just move it out of the way as I do my grinding. So there's little things to kind of think about as you're doing this stuff. Some debris from the welding tip. I have to grind that off now, but that's okay. So I'm just gonna put a couple tacks here. in here. Maybe I'll put 2 tacks here and 1 here. So when I'm welding, that won't try to roll in. So I'll just catch them now so they won't have a chance to roll in. And by roll in, I just mean when I put heat out here, this is going to either want to come out that way or go in. So I just put a tack in 2 spots so it can't move. And there you have it. So now it's just a matter of just putting the ears on. And putting the, the horns on top. And then they'll put their, the eyes and all that kind of stuff on. I'm just kind of thinking about it. I think I would just go ahead and just pretty much MIG everything. I thought about TIGging it, but I think I'll just go ahead and just MIG everything. So I'll go ahead and dim the camera just so you won't get blinded. I know I was tacking, but I'll be kind of going more edit right now. So let me go ahead and dim this camera. All right, so I'm just gonna run tacks all through here. And I'm gonna leave the weld, I think. I'm not gonna grind it. I think I'm gonna just leave the weld there. And if they decide they want to grind it, then they can go ahead and do that. But I think I'll just leave the welds there. Just see how it looks. If it looks right, we'll just keep the welds. And I think it'll make it look more rugged if we leave the welds there. So let me go ahead and shoot some in. Turn on a little bit of light so I can see a little bit better. And I hope you guys can see this. Hope you guys can see this. I guess across the top now. All right, get this other side here. fill this gap in here. I'm just running, just trying to stay right in that groove. So I'm not just tacking, I'm trying to make it look good, because I think we might just leave the welds on there as opposed to grinding them. Because I was thinking about just taking it, and that way I wouldn't have to do as much grinding, but I think I'll just leave these welds to see if I can talk them in and just leaving them here. Because it looks pretty good to me. One more. All right. All right, guys, so that's me making a cow's head. And I think that once we, start assembling it to the body and all that stuff, we'll shoot another video so you guys can see what it is we're doing and how we're doing it and that kind of thing. But my son will be out here with me doing it because I'm not going to do it all, myself. So I guess I'll maybe call this Holy Cow or something to that effect. But that's me making the cow's head, guys. And I hope to see you on the next video. I'm not sure what I'll be doing. Probably trying to finish this thing up, because after we finish this up, we'll move on to, he'll be making a couple of his two moons or two suns sculptures. And then after that, I got to go back to making some of my bigs. A couple bigs, actually 3 or 4 bigs, and then a couple smaller sculptures. And then I'm going to start doing some new stuff. So I'm just going to help him get this out of the way so we can, so I can move on back doing what I normally do. All right, guys, that's going to do it for you for this one. Like I said, I hope to see you on the next one. And as usual, peace out.